Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here with some more Hearthstone, and it's time for the Tavern Brawl, Valera's bag of burgled spells. Valera has stolen spells from every class and filled your deck with them. Each of those spells will summon a random minion of the same cost when played, which means that this brawl is randomness squared, for 4 times the randomness. I've not won this brawl this time, but this isn't the first time that we've seen this brawl in the Tavern Brawl format. But with the new Saviors of Uldum cards, who knows what kind of mayhem can be hatched with the spells that we cast. Let's go. You don't get to pick which class you are, because the title says who you're going to be. Let us find a worthy opponent, and fling spells at them, and hope we win.
Valera versus Valera.
Watch your back. I always do.
It's a Valera off, and I have a pretty good 3-4, but I don't have a 2 or a 1, so goodbye a new challenger, and hello, that's another 4. But this gives me 2 choices, which is always good, and I can hero power on turn 2. But it's quite likely my opponent is going to play a spell. Ah, there's a spell.
The pleasure is mine.
Hello, how are you? It's quite likely that my opponent is going to hero power at some point. Now the coin will give my opponent a 0 mana minion, and they're holding on to it.
Who's ready to make some money?
That is not a bad 2-drop at all. There aren't many more that would be better. Millhouse Mana Storm is one of those ones that would be better. Aha! You've triggered the dart trap. Take 5 damage to the face. Brilliant. We're off to a good start.
Time to collect.
I'm not actually going to attack first because who knows what I can get from this.
Such a beautiful design.
That is a pretty good selection as well. I didn't attack just in case we got some sort of attack buffing minion. I've got 4 minions here. Let's see what you have to counter. You could have absolutely anything though. Such is the nature of randomness. There's a 1-1. And there's a 3-3 with quite a lot of 1-1s. Right, we need to do something about this, and that's trading. We need to, let's see, we trade here, and then we start getting rid of all of these because we don't know if our opponent has a buff card or not. We could Fork Lightning here to get rid of absolutely everything, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. It also gives you 1-3. The middle one survived, but not for much longer, and equipping that weapon has buffed my Mithril Spellstone. It's not often you get to see that synergy, but it's there. This will summon 2 5/5 golems now.
The Brotherhood shall
Fan of Knives. That isn't great, but that's all you did. Let us get rid of that. I'm going to actually use Finley here, and hit with my health. And then buff this even more. Now it's a greater Mithril Spellstone. It'll summon 3 5/5 golems and give me a 7-drop. You've always got to watch out when casting 2 mana spells, like that one, just in case you make a Doomsayer. Now you're not going to play anything, and I just got a fantastic 6-drop.
I must.
So I'm going to trade and summon a ball of spiders.
keep it quick, kid. I ain't got
Ooh! Hello, Gazlo. If I get any 1-cost spells, I'll get random mechs. I'm going to save the charge on my dagger. Next turn, Greater Mithril Spellstone. Ooh, a Brawl! And the minion that's summoned is caught in the Brawl. And the winner is that web spinner, called Terrence. Well done, Terrence. My hand now has quite a few minions in it. Ooh, there's a new challenger again. I actually feel like playing that instead of the Greater Mithril Spellstone. But we have just seen a Brawl. It's not likely, well, I'm saying it's not likely there's going to be another Brawl clear. That hand is completely random, but I'm going to have to hope that they don't have another Brawl clear.
You follow
And fill the board with powerful minions. That is a lot of damage that my opponent is staring down. That's lethal, in fact. Spreading Plague. That has blocked my attack, if nothing else. And that summoned minion means that my opponent gets one less of the Scarab Beetles. Now let us get through this. There we go. I am going to... And that's it!
Well,
I was about to say I'm going to trade, but that wasn't needed. Victory is ours! I get the pack for winning my first match in a Tavern Brawl, and I get 10 gold for winning 3 games in a Tavern Brawl or play mode. Marvellous! And I also played a secret. I'm 1/6 of the way to completing that daily. I'm probably not going to complete it here. There are a lot of spells that can be given to me. And I believe the selection is all of Wild.
Valera versus Valera.
Once again, it is a Valera off, and we have another secret. Okay. Mind Games isn't going to give me anything because there are no minions in that deck, at least to start with. Ancestor's Call is also not going to really be that useful, so that's going to be useful though. So I will keep Karakazam and hope that I get, and I did not get, earlier costed minions. Or spells. I suppose it's both, really. Hello.
the pleasure is mine.
If you have a 1-cost spell, I'm in a bit of bother, but you don't. And there's a 4. I might want to coin Vaporize. Or I might just wait. That is a hero power. I might respond in kind. Swarm of Locusts is going to be pretty good, though we'll only get 6 Locusts. That's actually a benefit now I think about it.
Here we go.
You gave me a dagger to the face. I shall return the dagger to face in kind. And now you shall play something awesomely powerful, and then I will lose. A secret. Guess what? I've got a secret too. Would you like to see it? My minion is much less impressive, but if I'm lucky, you'll attack the face and lose that minion. And I can always play Wanted and get rid of it if you don't. Or I could just not do that and instead Karakazam. Doesn't do anything, because my secret only triggers on minions. Oh, you're buffing it. You're going face! Aha! The buff didn't actually work because you don't have any totems, but you did get that Elven Archer. Wing Blast! Ooh. That only costed 1 because of the reduction in cost, so you only got a 1-cost minion.
Here we go.
I'm going to hit this minion here. Coin. And get a Snow Flipper Penguin. And then Karakazam! That is not a bad board at all. 4-4, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. Now let's see what you do when faced with this. Hopefully not Brawl again. Then again I say Brawl again, you're a different opponent. Holy Nova isn't quite Brawl, but it's still pretty impressive. We want a minion on the board when we trade this away. Not that I want to trade it away into the Selfless Hero right now. I could Righteousness and give this minion Divine Shield, or I could sound the bells twice and get 2 2-cost minions. A tricky decision. I don't have anything really... I could Molten Reflection. That's a pretty good choice. I get a 3-4, and I'm gonna go face. Okay, it's not Vaporize. I want those buffs to spread around quite nicely. Meteor! Well, that's gonna get heavily buffed if nothing else. Now it's a 9-7. It can be destroyed by the minions on the board, but at least I managed to clear 2 of them away, and I do have a polymorph for the Bone Drake. Let's just hope that this isn't a spellbender. It could be a spellbender. It's not a spellbender! Marvellous. Now it's a sheep, and now it's gone. Unfortunately, Saronite Chain Gang, you are alone. You've got nobody to talk about how long this will go on with. At least right now. Curse of Weakness gives you a 2-drop, and then you will get another 2-drop if you decide to play it again, but instead, you decided to play Sabotage and get rid of my minion. You're keeping the board clear, and that's very sensible. But I can also keep the board clear with a swarm of locusts.
I have no time for games.
And I got a Sylvanas, oh my! That's pretty good. We will trade away most of these locusts. One left, and Sylvanas. Let's hope you don't silence it, or turn it into a toad, or a sheep. Or just twisting nether the board. That will get rid of the minion you summon, but it will also get rid of Sylvanas. I do have some pretty good, oh, Subdue. That's also a pretty good card. I'm, looking forward to playing that when my, hand is a little bit more empty. Thanks, by the way, for giving me the Kobold Geomancer. That's actually pretty useful. I have a few things that, work with spell damage. Oh ho! Okay, I can't hit that with spell damage, but I don't need to. It's gone. Alright. There's the Mind Games back. I might just play that for the 4-drop. Actually, this might be a pretty decent time to lock and load. Let's do it. So, I want to sound the bells. And then sound the bells again. And then sound the bells again.
Practice makes perfect.
That's a pretty decent board. It's just one flame strike away from disaster, but considering I only used a few spells, well, I used one spell multiple times because of Echo, that's pretty good. Doesn't have a huge amount of power on it, though. Now let's see what you do. I also have a Rokedelar, and my deck indeed has no minions in it, so that will trigger and give me a hand full of Hunter spells. Just in case my hand empties, which it's not going to anytime soon. Next turn, Righteousness is going to be pretty decent. It's going to be a Divine Shielded Frog. It will be mighty. That isn't going to draw you anything, I'm afraid. Now, I'm probably going to start here by Shadow Striking this minion.
Easy there.
Get a 4/3, and then Righteousness.
Snakes.
And that apparently is enough.
Well played.
Well played! To be fair, an entire board full of Divine Shielded minions would be pretty tricky to deal with. So victory is mine once more, and I got another secret played. Let's do one more and see if I can get a third. I might be able to. I probably won't, though. And this is the time that I get nothing but 10 mana spells. It could happen.
Valera versus Valera.
Hello, Valera. How's it going?
Watch your back. I always do.
Pretty good. Not so great. That could be interesting. I'm going to keep it. Starfire is good for turn 6. Especially with Academic Espionage. Hello.
The pleasure is mine.
How are you? Are you well? Nothing for turn 1? That's fine. Turn 2, you've got something. Ooh! More cards for me, including a Vendetta. It was pretty much a given that a Vendetta would be active, but I don't want to play the Vendetta right now. Now, if I do this, my hand is going to end up being very full. Very full indeed. So actually, I do want to play the Vendetta. We got a Wisp. The classic 0 mana card. Now I want to, maybe I just want to Violet Haze instead.
Welcome to the exhibit.
There we go. And that'll do. I'll keep the Witchwood Apple for when my hand is a little bit emptier. Next turn we've got Bash. Hunter's Mark. Good thing we've got Bash. There is a Dr. Boom scheme that will slowly get more powerful. When it's about gain armor, why does the picture show a huge pile of bombs? I suppose that's Dr. Boom's way. He'd find a way to get armor from that. He's that ingenious. Next turn we Academic Espionage. We could coin Skelemancer instead, though. There is that angle. All depends on what my opponent does. Which is entirely unpredictable because of all the spells. Branching Paths. Ooh, that's tricky to deal with. I'd have to hero power to get rid of that. Draw a card. Makes sense. And gain 6 armor. Fair enough. Mass Dispel. Going to save that for a better time. I think right now, hero powering is the right decision to get rid of this minion. Then I could coin to make a little bit of room. Coining would give me 3 mana. I should probably coin just because I want the card I'm going to get more than the coin. And I got a Murloc! The cutest 0-drop! Or is it? Is the penguin more adorable? You decide. I mean, this one has a tiny sword. It's made of wood, but don't underestimate wooden swords. They can hurt. The other one's just snowboarding down a mountain with a sheet of ice, which is pretty cool. That may make the Snow Flipper Penguin the most radical 0-drop. Ferocious Howl. Fortunately, I have a pretty decent 6-drop here in Spike Ridge Steed, and I'm going to be using it. That is good just in case the board gets full of stuff. Unfortunately, I cannot play my 6-cost spell right now, so I instead am going to trade and play a minion. It's not a spell! Be amazed. I hope my opponent doesn't read what this is and kills it. I wouldn't mind getting a really powerful minion. Chances are, however, they will read it, and then they won't kill it. But sometimes, people are careless, and they make mistakes. Me included.
So many options.
You've got a handful of them. Which one are you going to pick? Nourish.
The call of Cthulhu.
I can't get rid of that using the Spike Ridge Steed. I also can't get rid of it using Starfire, but at the very least, that will not summon a 10-cost minion, because you don't have one. Now I'm going to make this a 4/8. Now you really want to get rid of it, but you also really want to get rid of the Scaled Nightmare there. Ooh. That worried me for a moment, but it actually didn't draw a 10-cost minion. That was just the standard draw, with the awesome animation effect for the card. Was a little concerned there. You've hit that. I could Flame Strike next turn. That's a pretty good turn. I could also Gift of the Wild. Fireball! Ooh. Yeah, I think Flame Strike's pretty good here. It gets rid of 2 minions. Let's do it. Hello, Bootmaster Flark, how are you? I'm just going to hit your face here. That 4-2 will give me a 2-6 and an 8-8 when you kill it. Please don't have a way to kill the 8-8. The 8-8 is literally the most powerful thing I have right now. Oh, you're really avoiding killing the 4-2. You're really trying to avoid it.
Big, sharp, pointy.
That's a big board. That's a very big board. I could play Elemental Destruction and clear everything. That's certainly an option. Do I have a better one? Not especially. I'm gonna do it. The board's not looking good. Actually, am I going to do it?
I wonder.
I could play Starfall instead and get rid of 2 minions. I could play Necrium Vial.
Special delivery!
Yes! I could play Necrium Vial. And then just Hero Power. And see what you do. What are you going to do? The answer is... you have a lot of cards there. Heavy Metal, which gives you a 6 cost and a 5 cost. This Elemental Destruction is going to be significant. I could also Gift of the Wild next turn. Or maybe I should just Elemental Destruction. Going to trade there, and there, and there. And still you're going to hold off on destroying that minion. You're going to wait until you have a lethal-sized board, aren't you? Oh, that you are. Could I get rid of everything not casting Elemental Destruction? Not really. What I will do, though, is I will cast Elemental Destruction first. That deals 4 to 5. My totem did not survive, but I did gain a Stegodon. And that Stegodon is going to wear an awesome hat. And then I'm going to Academic Espionage and get a 3-6. Not a fan of the overload, but I will still have 5 mana to play with next turn. And slowly but surely, Dr. Boom's scheme is getting better. Little by little, that armor gain becomes significant. It's not a bad board. Dark Bargain. Goodbye your cards. Goodbye my minions. Hello, hat! Good to have the hat back. At least the hat survived. This may be a good time to master spell. Yeah, I think now is a good time to master spell. I have just enough mana for it, and a Cannon Barrage.
There once was a
Okay, we can get rid of this minion. And then I can Cannon Barrage. That was a pirate! That was handy. Unfortunately, my opponent has 7 damage right now, and I could have got more damage if I'd have Cannon Barraged first, but I really wanted the, oh dear, I really wanted the chance of getting rid of a minion with it. Specifically the beasts, because of the potential beast synergy. You are not trading here. And I have all my mana back. And you have that there. That's not fantastic. Now let us think here. That will give me +4 attack. So I feel like this will get rid of a fair few minions. 2 damage to all. I'll get rid of that and that. Put that down to 2. Put that down to 5, which I can then get rid of using the Crazed Alchemist. So let's do that first. And get Anka the Buried. And then I'm going to actually trade here. Get rid of the more dangerous minion. then I want to actually gain that armor.
I see a dark future.
Ooh, that's a potentially powerful minion.
Too soon.
Whenever you summon a minion, all of these spells summon minions. They're going to have quite a bit of health, or potentially less health, depending upon how expensive that minion is. You have a 2-1 and Divine Shield. The Divine Shield isn't great to see, but we do have the Gift of the Wild next turn. Oh dear.
Team spirit.
Oh dear.
Best spirit.
That's not great. And you want to get rid of that minion. Fair enough. Okay. There's another ambush there. I actually want to play this here. Give me that, and then this. That's a pretty impressive blockade of minions there. I am going to trade there. I'm going to trade here. And I'm going to trade there. Keeping all of the minions alive and presenting as much of a block as possible to prevent that 718 from getting to me. This is one master spell away from disaster. Curse of Weakness is not bad. That's not bad because your board is slowly going to get filled up with 1/1 zombies. You'll be able to get through at least one minion here, most likely two.
Nobody.
That's a 0-7, that's not going to hurt me right now. You can only get one more minion. Ooh, Exploding Bloatbat. At least that's not going to do anything this turn. Curse of Weakness again. No more minions. And you're going to get rid of the 0-4. Or you're going to hit that. And then Dagger to hit that some more. Okay. Unfortunately, my minions don't have their attack back, and that does nothing because your board is full. I do have this, though. I do have Everything is Awesome. That could be decent. If I were to Pilfered Power here, get that, and then Everything is Awesome, that gives my minions more power, which means that I can then,
Incredible.
let's see,
I need
trade there, trade here, which will then make that bigger, and now all my minions get their attack back. We now have a 6-6, a 12-4, a 6-5, an 8-3, a 5-3, a 5-3, and a 7-8. That's not bad. I mean, they're all about to take 2 damage because of the Bloatbat, but the taunts are still there. We're still providing an obstacle, and I'm going to get a Death Rattle minion. And we have we had a beast die this game? Not sure we have. But slowly all of these minions are disappearing. But I do have more spells. I can get rid of that 7-10. I can get rid of it. Of course, there is another 7-9, which is a bit of a problem, and Hadronox, which will also be a bit of a problem because a few taunts have perished. Now, let's get rid of that. Let's also trade here, and then Starfire.
I usually work alone.
Envenom Weapon. That's actually quite useful right now. I want to get rid of this before you can do anything like buff it. And I want to draw a card to get that Wisp. Ooh, wanted. Hold on to that. My hand probably isn't as powerful as my opponent's hand. And that 5-3 is a little bit weak for a 6-cost minion, but I'll find a use for it. Captain's Parrot. Trading there. sabotage.
Stop to that.
They got the most powerful minion.
Incredible.
It happens. You're going to then hit that. Okay. What have I got? Landscaping. We could... Well, this will get rid of everything. Except the, wee spell stopper. Not a particularly great, 5 cost, and yes, that is something, unfortunately, that was inevitably going to happen. There's no way I could have stopped it. My defeat is pretty much nigh.
Incredible.
Talk about a nice suit.
Or is it? The mistake I made was that I should have made my opponent get the Hadronox killed so that they didn't have all of these things active, because we have 2, 3, 4, and then 10, 13. Technically not lethal.
Choose soon.
Technically not. We could buff this a tiny bit more. It's wearing a jaunty hat now. Probably should have traded that 1-1 in Thirst. But at this point, there's not really too much I can do. I mean, my hand is an infested Tauren, an abominable bowman, and a witchwood apple.
Behold the army of
Normally you'd see a bunch of Murlocs come out when that happens, but not this time. We're seeing some face damage. And with the weapon, that's enough. Well played.
Well played. Well played.
My opponent had the 1 extra damage even if they didn't have the weapon. Mistakes were made in that final match, but it was a slow and teetering collapse into oblivion anyway. My hand quality wasn't that great, my opponent's was a lot better. But that is what can happen when you have random spells that give you random minions. Sometimes randomness doesn't work out for you. Sometimes you don't help random along by making mistakes like I did. But 2 out of 3, I'll take that as success. And so, when we come back, folks, more Hearthstone. Will it be a deck I've made myself? Will it be another Tavern Brawl? Will it be something else entirely? Who can say? The only thing I can be certain of is that it's probably going to be a lot less random. Or will it? Maybe I'll build a deck totally devoted to randomness, and then watch as my opponent stares in disbelief as all of the random things hit me in the face and kill me. Let's face it, that's probably what would happen. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.